Wake up with us, it's time to rise and shine. Morning mayhem's on the air, we're feeling fine. We got a motto, Tomlin and Mama Manning too. Bringing you the latest, there's nothing we can't do. Mayhem, it's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates, we're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional, we're knocking down the door.
Good morning, Woodland, and welcome to today. It's May 2nd, and it is Thursday, an A-day here at Woodland. It should be nice. It was about 53 degrees this morning. It should go up to roughly around the 70s, so it should be a good afternoon for the ball game that's going to be happening. I'm sure you're going to be talking a little bit about.
I can't wait!
I knew that was going to happen. A couple things going on today. We have the senior trip to Lake Compounds. That's not today, but tickets are on sale from the 1st to the 7th, and pick those up in room 329, especially if you need that permission slip. Chords and Cookies. Woodland National Honor Society is going to be holding their end of the year celebration on May 8th in the Media Center courtyard on May 8th. Helping Hands, the registration forms are out there. Those are also due May 8th. They should be turned in to Mrs. Maharam or Mrs. Simoes. That's when you put your hands on a bus. You stay there as long as you can, and you win some prizes. It does cost $15 to join, but you will be well rewarded with a T-shirt, and the first 30 people get water bottles. And then after that, if you stay on, you can actually win additional prizes. Guys and Dolls tickets are still on sale for the shows May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. On Friday, they're on the 7 o'clock. Saturday is 2 and 7. And on Sunday, it is a 7 o'clock showing. So get out there and have a ball. Don't forget the pom-pom poll of the week is, what would you choose, dogs or cats to stay around? The upcoming college field trips to Post University is May 10th, and the one to Nautick Valley Community College is May 13th. So if you're interested in both of those, see Mr. Stipe to get more information. Class of 2025, if you're a member of the National Honor Society, you have a meeting. That's class of 2025. The junior chapter members are expected to attend on May 9th. That's right after school in the Media Center. I believe that's next week. And this year, the Planet Fitness is offering a high school summer pass for all teens who are 14 to 19 years old. You can work out free all summer long.
That works for me.
That's great because one of today's day is National Fitness Day. Today is National Fitness Day. So, and don't forget to listen to us every morning at 7 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify. Today's historical events. It was the first flight of the Graf Zeppelin, 1928. Yes.
Wow.
It was an innovation in aerospace engineering, not to be confused with Led Zeppelin, which was an innovation in rock music.
There you go.
Now we have like no blimps left. There's like 8 blimps left.
The
blimps are different
than Zeppelins.
Yeah, much different than Zeppelins or dirigibles.
Isn't a Zeppelin like a bigger version of a
No, it's a rigid structure, whereas
okay.
a blimp is just an oversized balloon.
Yeah.
They're cousins.
That's all it is.
And a Blimpies is a sub shop.
Oh, I miss Blimpies.
Oh.
The Blimpies best.
Yeah.
They would slice the meat right there for you.
Yeah.
Made
Anyway,
me hungry.
we should have a show just on what is the best sandwich shop around.
Jersey Mike's. Anyways.
The modern
DeBelle's.
legend, I'm not going to disagree with Jersey Mike's.
DeBelle's.
The legend of Loch Ness Monster was born on this day in 1933 when a newspaper, the Inverness Courier, told of a local couple who saw an enormous animal plunging on the surface. Now, they called it an animal. The newspaper called it a monster, and ever since then, it's been the Loch Ness Monster, or as their friends know, as Nessie. Today's birthdays, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, born in 1972, David Beckham in 1975, and just to throw a little kickback back in the day, Catherine the Great, 1729, who was heralded for educational reform and championing the arts and extending Russia's borders. Today is known for National Fitness Day, as I said before. So if you're looking to get into fitness, Planet Fitness has that free trial for all the teenagers, 14 to 19. And it is National Brothers and Sisters Day. So reach out to your brothers and sisters today and say, how do? It's also National Truffle Day, and that's whether it's just the truffle of fungus, if you will, or if it is the truffle of the ganache covered in dusted powder. So it is just National Truffle Day overall. And it's also Harry Potter Day. So if you want to figure out who you would be into the Sorting Hat, you can do that as well. Over the sports desk with Mama Manning.
All right. Good
Can we
morning.
please remember to lower that before we hit the button?
The two bumps are like different volumes. I don't know why.
Well, make sure that everybody's listening. All right. Yesterday in varsity sports, boys baseball team toppled WCA 15-1.
Oh, wow.
It was ugly.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, let's say the bench played, I think, in the second inning.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of the basketball games last night.
Oh, yes. We'll get to that. Today, boys baseball plays St. Joe's in Hartford tonight. Today at 3:30. That's the big game. Boys golf faces Waterbury Co-op at 3. Over to the NBA.
We're over to the NBA. That didn't take too long.
Celtics had a closer. They won 118. Did you hear me? 118 to 84
And
over the
Wow.
Heat.
And I think it could have been higher if they just kept all the starters in.
Yeah. Yeah. That was over quickly.
The score ran up in the first quarter. And here's
Yeah.
a testament to Miami Heat, though. Once it hit 30, it never got much further than 30.
No.
Like the two teams were neck and neck, except 30 is very hard to overcome.
To be honest, they didn't have Jimmy Butler, but you have to play who you have.
Yeah.
And they missed a lot of shots.
You got to run what you brung.
That's right. And how about those Mavs?
Oh, yeah.
123-93 over the Clippers.
Yeah. And that was
They are
done
up
too, right? That one.
3-2. They're up 3-2.
3-2. Oh, I
Yep.
thought that closed out last night.
Yep.
I didn't watch that game because that was a late game.
Yeah. They play again tomorrow.
All right. And
I
that-
think softball had the same score as baseball last night too. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It wasn't reported.
And that's the sports with Mama Manning. Over the news desk with Tomlin.
Morning, couple top stories started today. First off, Arizona will be repealing its 1864 abortion ban, set to be signed by the governor shortly. In 90 days, the 1864 abortion ban will be going away in Arizona.
All right.
All right. Artists from Universal Music Group are headed back to TikTok as new licensing deals reach.
Yes.
This comes as TikTok still is scheduled to be banned soon. According to recent estimates from the UN, it would take until the year 2040 to repair all the homes destroyed so far in Gaza.
Wow.
Yeah. Misinformation surges on social media in India as Indians head to the polls for the world's largest democratic election.
We're heading to the polls for Woodland's
We
largest.
are. Hopefully, we're not facing AI misinformation with AI generated robocalls and the such.
Oh, hopefully not. Yeah.
So researchers who track this information in India say the country is particularly vulnerable to misinformation and hate speech because of its linguistic and cultural diversity, as well as its weak enforcement of laws.
Well, they don't even have TikTok anymore, right? That's banned in India.
Yes, it's fully banned in India. Most of the countries that have TikTok bannings, it's banned from governmental devices. In the United States, it's actually banned from government devices, but that's relatively recently. Most of these countries have banned it on their government-issued devices years ago. According to recent FBI estimates, scammers stole more than $3.4 billion from older Americans last year.
Go watch my dad's PSA.
All right.
He created a PSA on scammers.
Very interesting. We'll have to get a hold of that.
I watch a lot of those scammers that scam the scammers. Like
Catfishing?
pierogi. Yeah, they kind of catfish the scammers to keep them on the line or so that they can actually make a connection to their computer and then wipe out their database that's on
Nice.
there. So
Nice.
they take over their cameras and you can see them working in the rooms and then they turn them over to the authorities. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene promises a motion to vacate Mike Johnson next week. This comes, she'd filed the motion several weeks ago. Two other members of the House have so far signed up to it. The Dems have indicated that they will support Mike Johnson as Speaker, which would be really interesting that you have the minority party supporting the Speaker if a majority of the majority ends up voting against him. So next week, something definitely to watch for in news. This comes as this Congress in particular, not only did it take a number of votes to elect the first Speaker which itself was historic. The last time we had done this was about 70 years ago. But then to have, when that speaker was vacated, the first heir apparent end up going down and being defeated, and then ultimately moving on to this individual who's now speaker, who was on nobody's radar to be speaker. So this, I mean, election days in November, a brand new House will be elected in November, and here we are in May talking about getting rid of the speaker again. All right, potatoes. I know you're worried about this one, Mr. Mata.
Oh,
will
Idaho.
remain classified as a vegetable. They will not be reclassified as a grain.
All right.
I know you were worried about this. This is
It's still
big
going to be a
news.
root vegetable, though, right? It's considered a root
it's
vegetable.
still considered a root vegetable
below the
but,
surface of the ground.
It will continue to be classified as a vegetable.
So all that starch doesn't put it in the other class.
Nope. No. Senator Susan Collins has said that she received assurance that it will not be changing, and therefore it will not be impacting the economy of Maine.
All right.
And it's a little local news. Nearly 100 people have been protesting outside the Yale president's house in New Haven. If any of you were watching local news this morning, you see that there are multiple protesters on the steps of the New Haven police offices. There's also protesters outside of the Yale police offices. So the protests in New Haven continue.
All right.
There's your news.
And that's the news with Tomlin. This morning, our guests were Cassie Bailey and Madison Hart. But right now, we just have Madison Hart with us. Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Amano.
How's it going? And both of you are running for WRSG student government presidents.
Yes.
Now, what is the role of the student government president?
So the student body president basically is the biggest candidate, I guess, of the school. They're the biggest implemented person to speak on behalf of everyone's opinions at the school. So this means I would speak for grades 9 through 12. It wouldn't just be subjected to one grade like class officers. I would also be in charge of running student government senate meetings and also meeting with the Board of Ed.
All right. So what makes you one of the candidates? What skills and background do you bring to help make Woodland a better place?
Well, I'm very heavily engaged with the school. I've been in Woodland student government for 3 years. I was a class officer as class president of my grade my freshman year. I am one of the oldest people of the girls swim and dive team, and I'm involved in numerous extracurriculars. I basically went to Tomlin one day and he was saying, oh, all these people qualify to be student body president, and my name happened to be on there. And I look at him and I go, YOLO. And that's why I'm here right now.
All right. So what are some of the things that you're going to be running on? What are your ideas for the school?
So during this year, we've had a really bad parking issue, and I could probably get Fred over here to talk about it.
What is the parking issue?
Students are parking in incorrect parking spots, including faculty parking spots over in the front. And I thought to solve this, Oxford does this, and I believe Seymour does as well. They get to customize their own parking spots. And my idea is if we customize our own parking spots, no one would want to ever leave their parking spot.
Oh, all right. So a little bit of ownership of space. Okay.
And then I would like to introduce decorating graduation caps. I think that'd be very fun for all graduates to be able to show, hey, this is where I'm going to college maybe, or these are my hobbies just by showing my cap. This is how I'm making my mark on Woodland as I leave. I thought that was really special in my mind. The next thing is student versus faculty sporting events. I think that would be really good to they engage with each other. A lot of students and teachers don't get along fairly well, and I think maybe if we introduce these sporting events or co-ed activities, we could bring more friendships to the table.
Please no hurtling events. I don't know if I can handle the hurdles.
Maybe some dodgeball.
Dodgeball? All right. I think I can do the
or
dodgeball.
I was thinking a volleyball match.
All right. Yeah, I can do that. All right. There you go. So one of the things that the president's going to be in charge of is student climate. And you've been talking a lot about climate. How would you kind of lead that way as well, just to show that this is what you're all about?
Well, the climate here as a student, I feel like it's very drama fulfilled. You know, I could hear something from the third floor go down to the first floor, hear the exact same thing within 2 minutes. I think we need to start learning how to actually work with one another rather than turning it back and being like, hey, did you hear this? Hey, did you hear that? I think as a student body, we need to figure out how to collectively be a student body rather than keep on dividing little by little to where we're creating like an army against each other. That's why I want to make all these events like the parking and doing teacher versus student sporting events to be able to increase that student body engagement with one another and the school itself.
Now, you have a debate coming up today.
Yes.
What's entailed in the debate?
All I know is that I have to be there for advisory and I'm getting asked 20 questions on stage. That is all the information I was given.
And you don't have the questions up front?
No.
So it's blind questioning, and it'll figure out who you are going to be as a presidential candidate. All right. Well, it should be exciting for us this afternoon. We're looking forward to see what you do. Thank you for coming in. Give us a little bit more insight to your candidacy. And on behalf of the show, whoever was standing over here was Mama Manning. This guy over here was Tomlin. I'm still Amato. Good morning, Woodland.
Morning mayhem, it's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates, we're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional. We're knocking down the door.
Every morning at 7 a.m.
Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram too. We're streaming on Spotify. We're reaching out to you. Join the Morning Mayhem crew.
Knocking down the door.